What about you guys? Have you both ever been big Jim Carrey fans, or like in the '90s were you flying that flag?
Oh yeah, when I was a kid, I was. Yeah.
I had some weird moments where I've always kind of been on his side, if you will, without ever being like a real fan. Like I've always been like, you can do it, Jim. Like you can do it. He strikes me as like everybody that talks about him. Well, until recently, he kind of seems to have gone off the rail recently. But like before Man in the Moon, did you ever see that documentary on Man in the Moon?
Oh yeah,
I still haven't watched it, but Niall, you love it.
It's
great.
pretty. It's sort of like that's the moment where he went literally insane. I think like he went real world crazy, going method on that film, and things have gotten worse for him with like lawsuits about his personal life and stuff like that ever since then. But like before that, nobody had a bad word to say about the guy. Everybody said he was one of the true good guys that you could work with, that he was always fun to pal around with. And he'd gotten over, like, he used to just lie on his apartment floor and scream at the ceiling for 8 hours a day when he was like a struggling comic in Toronto. He had a lot of energy and nowhere to put it, and that's where the comedy was a real gateway for him and allowed him to be himself on stage, rather than it's, I've kind of always said that the best comedians aren't joking, and I think that the Jim Carrey's energy on stage was just him finally being allowed to be himself, because this is what he had pent up inside of him all the time. It wasn't a stretch for him to be this out there all the time, because that's just what he has, this fountain of energy just in him, just going. And so I've always been, you can do it, you can find the path, you can do it. Like he got in a lot of, like when he was getting $20 million for Liar Liar, everybody was like, oh, this overnight success is suddenly getting paid more than anybody's ever been paid, and he's only done like 3 films. And he was like, I remember him on I think it was Leno or it was Carson, I think it was right around that switch, where he was like saying, it's not an overnight success. I've been a struggling comic going across the country in dingy bars ever since I was 17.
Hell yeah.
Now I'm 30 and I'm getting $20 million a picture. But anybody who says that I'm an overnight success just because it's the first time I've showed up on their radar is wrong. Yeah. Like, I have paid my dues. So I've always kind of been in his corner, and I've wanted him to succeed. But his failed bids for an Oscar, I think that really messed with him, because I think he really wanted to be taken seriously. But yeah, like but then again, like Ace Ventura, I didn't find very funny.
I did at the time, but now I probably wouldn't.
Like Dumb and Dumber, I didn't find pretty funny. Like, there are people that his early comedies are, for some people, like a religion. They can quote it nonstop. They're like, "Hey guys, big gulps, eh? Well, see you later." Like, they can't get enough of his antics and The Mask and all that kind of stuff. And I admired the talent, and I admired the skill, and I admired the sort of natural wellspring of energy that he had. And it's kind of been, I've been in his corner, but I wouldn't say I've been a rock steady, diehard fan. Like, I don't have a Jim Carrey tattoo anywhere or anything, but I've kind of been watching him, and I've been sympathizing with him and hoping for success for him. So I've kind of been sad to see where he's ended up recently, but whatever. Hollywood would chew me up in about 30 seconds, so what do I know about it? Anyway, that's my take. Sorry, let me just talk for another 20 minutes about Jim Carrey. That came out of nowhere.
That was all gold. We didn't even have to butt in.
Okay, cool. Good. Sorry, sometimes
I
I go on a
think the same.
Like, lengthy rant.
We like Jim Carrey. We acknowledge he's not to everyone's tastes, though, including our own sometimes. But he seems... he does a lot of different things. He seems like a nice person. He's trying. He puts his all into the roles. You can't argue that.
Yeah, I'm thinking with